sport and virtue is just about being sort of kind of getting two shoes or something. What I want to show you is that part of being virtuous in sport is also world-class performance. So the question is, how do you get all of your skills, talents, and abilities to come out when you want them to? That doesn't mean you have to want to be a pro athlete, but the way I look at it is God bless each of you with whatever skills, talents, and abilities you have. Hopefully you feel desire to see those come out and be actualized. Never worked with an athlete who's not been happy knowing that their best came out. You're always frustrated when you say to yourself, I messed up, I didn't do my best. But you can ask yourself, did you first try to mess up? You never tried to mess up. Okay, so there's a reason why sometimes you don't perform as well as you can. I will tell you, when I competed, I have to be honest with you, I compete a lot out of anger. I go get you a long way. You get mad, that can take you pretty far. But a lot of times anger is not a good thing. One, you tend not to control it real well. It can get you in trouble. And it only takes you so far. It's like energy, but it's always not so focused. So there's a better way to do this. And what I'm going to try to do in a really short amount of time, because we're only going to do this for about 35, 40 minutes at most, I want to give you some really practical things that if you apply them, I guarantee you they'll make you better athletes. So without even having to lift another weight, without doing anything, some things I'm going to show you right now, if you do them, I guarantee you'll play and perform better than you have up to this point. Because I doubt that any of you have mastered it. With all the pro athletes I've ever worked with, I've never met one that didn't have further to go than they come. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to attempt to show you a few of these things. So the first one, walk a little closer. Start out just a little bit so people come back and see. Right there, too. Okay, I'm going to get a volunteer. Be brave. It's not hard. Did you volunteer? Was that push to volunteer? Okay, come on. Okay. Stand there. Now, how you doing? Stand down there on the end of this show. Let's stand right down here. Okay, face this way. Now, I couldn't bring a beam with me, so I want you to stand right down into the beam. Okay? And I'll at least get you a soda. I hope it's not an NCAA violation. I guess I'll find that out. There it is. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to walk down the beam, and I want you to pick up the dollar. Go ahead. And 7. Good. And now you can go back. I know, Chris, come on. What the heck is that? Should have volunteered. Okay. Not much money, but it's about right. See now, how hard was that? Was it ridiculous? Yeah. Matter of fact, didn't you think there's a trick to this? You thought something's got to be to this. Like you're either going to have to long jump down there or someone's going to jump out and push you or something. Now, I'm originally from New York, and I attribute to the place that's no longer there. I used to use this as my example, but they don't exist anymore. What if I put that beam up between the World Trade Centers in downtown New York? Okay, 110 stories up, I put the dollar down on one side, and I say, Chanel, just go down there and get the dollar. What do you think? Yeah. Do you know anybody's going to go across to the dollar? Why? Yeah, well, you look over the edge. I mean, Chanel, you're standing over here, you look over the side of the building, you look down, you see those old cars and people, you go, what do you think? I'm not out of my mind here, go across there for $1? Risk my whole life to walk across this beam? But let's just look at this for a second. Right now, whether you knew it or not, there was just 2 things that could help you get across that beam, okay? One was seeing the beam and feeling your body move. Left, right, left, right, left, right, all the way across till you got here, picked up the dollar, stepped off, right? That means you gave all 100%. Now, I don't know where coaches get the extra 10%, you know, give your 110, I don't know where that comes from. You know, there is no secret slice under a pie. There's only 100% of a pie, that's all there is, right? So the most you can give in any situation is 100%, that's all you have. But I said the reason why we get frustrated sometimes is because we think, my 100% was more than that, somehow I didn't get it out. So let's just look at this for a second. I put the dollar down there, I just tell you walk across there. I mean, it's so ridiculously easy, you think it's a trick. Now, I put it up on top of the World Trade Centers, and nobody in here is saying, yeah, I'll go right across that dollar. Everybody's saying, I'm not going across that for $1. Maybe a pile of money, I might think about it. Then people will be down their hands and knees crawling across the beam to get to the other side, maybe. But let's think, okay, so again, you're standing here, seeing the beam, feeling your body move, left, right, you walk up. It's ridiculously easy. But then on top of the World Trade Center, something changes. You had 100% to give, and Chanel put the whole 100% into seeing the beam, feeling her body, and it was ridiculous. On top of the World Trade Center, you still have 100% to give, same conditions, everything can be the same. But what happens? Look at those old cars and people. We'll take away 40% for that thought, that's a pretty big thought. You know, I could fall off and get killed. What does that have to do with seeing the beam and feeling your body? Nothing. Take away another 10%. Before you know it, you're standing out here on this beam, maybe thinking about going across with maybe 10% of your ability on actually what it takes to go across the beam, which is seeing the beam and feeling your body, which means you have a good chance of falling off. You know, think about, I don't know if anybody in here plays basketball, right? Or, you know, it could be pitching, I can take any example, but let's take something simple everybody can imagine, a foul shot, okay? What does it take to make a foul shot? We don't pass this down, but what it takes is if I'm going up to the foul line, I gotta be able to see the rim, and I gotta be able to feel my body move. That's it. There's nothing else that can help me at this moment make that foul shot. Well, let's make it exciting. It's a game. Okay? And there's 30 seconds left in the game. If you're down by 1 and you just got fouled, it's 2 shots, you're now going to go to foul line. As you walk towards the line, the gym's packed, people are screaming. You get to the line, and all it takes right now is to put the whole 100% into seeing the rim, feeling your body. That's as good as you can do. That's the best foul shot you're possibly going to make. But coaches may be able to some instruction to you that you're supposed to do right after the play. What does that have to do with seeing the rim, feeling your body? Nothing. Take away 10% from that thought. Last time you're at the foul line, you missed your last 2 foul shots. What does that have to do with seeing the rim, feeling your body? Nothing. Take away 20% from that thought. Maybe there's some people you love up in the stands who are there like videoing you or something. Man. What does that have to do with it? Nothing. You get where I'm going. Before long, you stand on the foul line with maybe 20% of your ability actually focused on the rim and feeling your body. And what's there a good chance of happening then? If only 20% of your ability is on the task at hand, you can miss. And then what do we tend to say when we miss? I knew it. You know? And then it's just, and now next time I go to the foul line, it starts all over again. Maybe worse. So my point in just sharing this with you is that staying in the present moment is the key. If you take the whole 100% you have and put it into this present moment with whatever you're doing, that is the best it gets. Now go back in your own minds and think of yourselves competing, you know, all through your lives, high school. Think about it. Think of the times that you maybe didn't perform up to what you thought you should, and reflect back on it. I think you're going to find, you'll see, you were not focused on actually what it took at that moment. You know, if you're talking about softball, it's seeing the ball literally come out of the hand of the pitcher. Literally trying to see it spin out of the hand of the pitcher. If you're that absorbed in what's going on, that's as good as it gets. You know, slumps. Can you hand me a slump? They don't exist. There's no such thing. You know? But yeah, I gotta wear my hats backwards or wear slumpy socks to do something to break myself out of this slump. Why? Because I don't know how I'm in it. I just know I can't hit right now. The more I'm thinking that, the more I start changing stuff. The more I start changing stuff, the more it throws me off, which means now I'm not performing as well as I can, which just reinforces that I'm in a slump. And then someday, who knows why, somebody's got to get a hit and say, oh, I broke the slump, I'm out of it. There's a better way than that, okay? So now, what I want you to do for me is this. When I say go, I want you to snap your finger for me as fast as you can. Ready? Go. Okay. Now, work with me. I mean fast. I said as fast as you can. Ready? Go. Go faster. You're listening for the whole go sound to come out though. When you hear the go and go, I want you to snap your fingers as fast as you can. Ready? Go. Would you admit that that was a lot faster than the first time? I'm asking you. I don't take my opinion. Was that faster than the first time? Why didn't you snap your finger that fast the first time? Because you either didn't know you could snap your finger that fast, or you said, oh, I didn't know that fast. Okay? Well, my point is a lot of times when you're performing, you don't realize how much you have in you. You have so much more in there than you do this. And you think, well, it's not my favorite. You know, I sprinted. I tried to hit it. You know, that. You have that in you. You got to know. Awareness is the first key to change. You can't change if you don't know. You got to be able to feel your body, know what you're doing, know what's happening, and if you don't, you have no chance of changing. Even if you know the ideal, even if you could write the book on biomechanics, it wouldn't matter. Because if you don't know what you're doing, how can you change to something else? You don't even know what you're currently doing. Okay. I'll give you a practical thing here. On a field, could be, you could, now, maybe baseball. What sports do I have in here? Just give me an idea. What is it? Wait, say that. Basketball, this will work for basketball. Soccer doesn't work. Track, go along with this, you know. We'll see how the application works. Anybody else? Tennis. Doesn't work. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to show you something. I work with a lot of NFL wide receivers, okay? Now, NFL wide receiver, watch my head, okay? You're the quarterback. Pretend you're the quarterback here. You're the quarterback here, okay? Watch my head. Receiver comes up, and if he does this, and comes around, and you throw a ball early, I'm going to have like a start response. You ever have that in baseball? Or like a softball come at you like a little sooner than you expect? Oh, then you get that like start response? It's because you didn't see it soon enough, right? So it's just a natural reaction. Soccer, I mean, anything, basketball, ball shoots out at you, and the hands fly up, right? It's because you didn't see it. Watch my head right now. Okay, you're going to think I'm nervous still. When I plant my foot, my head turns that fast. Now when my head turns that fast, I'm seeing the ball 10 yards sooner. Which means I have a really good chance of catching it because I can see the ball, I'm going to watch it with my hands and catch it. So the point I'm getting at here is some of this is just knowing how fast you are. Right now, without doing any more speed work, without any more strength training, I want to show you how fast you are. So we're going to do the head snap thing because I can't do sprints in here. We'll just do this head snap thing to get the idea. So spread out just a little bit, like straight lines. Put straight lines across. As long as you're straight. No, line up. Go this way. I'm going to have you do something. Yeah. Face my direction. Okay. When I say right, you see this tape here on the wall, the white piece of tape? When I say right, I want you to snap your head and look at that piece of tape as fast as you can, okay? And when I say left, we'll just take the tape that's on the end of the wall here, okay? This will be your place of focus. So I say left, you snap your head there. I say right, you snap your head there. If I say up, you see that box at the top of the conduit? You'll just wedge your eyes up to that box, okay? You're all ready. You're really ready. Okay? Right. Okay, let's do that again. Now, here's what I saw. When I said right, I saw a lot of... Okay. I mean, it should look like you have a nervous disorder. Okay? So it's like that again. Your head snaps. It's so fast. She almost thinks it can come off your shoulders. Okay? Right. Well, I saw that really fast. Look back at me. Left. That's okay. Can show us like momentum, like the weight of your head is just kind of like snap. Just come off your neck. Okay? Ready? Right. Oh, that's good. That's not really fast. Back to me. Left. Good. Back to me. Up. Oh, that up is a little okay. Sure. This is the hard part about sports performance. Can you concentrate one time really fast? Really? Absolutely. Can you do it a lot? That is a lot harder. Because you fade, you know? So yeah, got it. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Those kind of things happen to us. So part of it's just the awareness of knowing when you're performing, when you're training. That's how you practice. You don't practice for 9 hours doing it, but when you do something, do it the way you're hoping to execute it when you perform. Now spread out just so you have a little room so you don't bump into each other. You can kind of space yourself this way too if you need to, just to get a little bit of room. Okay, here's what we're going to try. In a moment, I'm going to have you face around, okay? And what I'm going to have you do is, when I say go, you're going to turn, okay? As best you can. So go back that way. Anybody have questions is, same from this one. Okay, ready? Face away. Ready? Go. You know, there was a couple like false starts there. I see that. Okay. Now, a couple things. I'll tell you another thing. Okay? Don't be afraid to try. I'm serious. Nobody wants to look that good. Everybody wants to look cool. I'm not trying too hard. When I'm really fast, I don't want to look like I'm really trying at it. In case I'm not so fast, I don't want to look like I really put out. Okay? You've got to go for it. You've got to lay on the line. You've got to go completely for it, what it is. That's the only way that you will play and perform at your best. So, here's what I'm going to show you again. What I saw, a lot of people do, watch me. I saw this. First motion was jump up and down. Okay? Watch the level of my hips right now. My hips didn't come up, right? Now, watch my head. That was my hips turning. Watch my hips turn. My head's fast my hips. So, I'm here. Now, if you move that fast, you know what you next thing? How do you feel? Right? Because the intensity is scaring people. When they see somebody move that fast and that sharp, what's their first reaction? I can't save that person. I can't come that person. And you have that ability. You just got to shove it. Face back that way. Bend the knees a little bit. Get down. You're staying down the whole time. When I say go, go. Now, keep your head hard for me. Okay? Your head can turn even faster than your hips. Ready? Go. It's late. Just one more time. Wait. Go back. Let me for a second. Okay. Practice the head thing for a second. Let me say, yeah. Good. Okay. Switch it, right? Okay, back around. Get down. Get ready. Here we go. Oh, that was my bad. That was my bad. Ready? Go. Yes, much better. Okay. Okay, focus. Most sports you're covering people. Track, you're not, but most other sports, you have to cover somebody on defense, right? I'm telling you, the way you cover somebody is attention to detail, focusing on a spot. A spot cannot get away from you. Okay? Come on. Your first thing. Come on here. All right, I'm actually stay right here. So I want you to just stand there, okay? What I'm going to do is if I go by this side, I'm just going to put that on. So look that on. Perfect. Okay? If I go that side, you look that on. Okay? So whichever side I go, you look up, you're going to go. Okay? So now oh, stop. No, don't worry about it. Now, you're so trying to use the person. So what? So here we go. I'm coming again. Okay. So I'm coming at you and I'm coming. Good. Okay. Now, here's the point. Head fake, some people come up and they do all these kind of things, right? If you focus on one spot, actually that button there. Okay. Focus on that button. Don't let that button get away from you. Wherever that button goes, your eyes are locked on, right? So start watching the button. That was easy, wasn't it? Go ahead. I know. Thank you. My point is, when you focus on a spot, the spot can't fake you out. A person can fake you out, but the spot can't. And if you have energy in your eyes, hands, and feet, and you're locked on a spot, you can't get away from it. So that's part of focus. Now, what is focus? Everybody has heard somebody say focus, right? Every coach says focus. You go, yeah, I'm focused. I'm going to show you what focus is. You see this red ball? Okay, where's the red ball? On that ball is a little white arrow pointing towards the label. At the end of that label, there's a little white thread coming off of that tape. Can you look at that right now? Can you tell me, is that little thread touching the label or not? Okay, stop for a second. Some of you are like, what is he talking about? Like the whole mind and body is like trying to look inside that arrow. You're over there saying, I can't see the arrow. What are you talking about? That's focus. Focus is attention to detail. The more detail you get absorbed in, the more focused you are. The more you're trying to see a ball come at you is detail. How many softballs have you seen come at you in your life? All of you, come on. I mean, thousands, right? Maybe a million. So after a while, what does it look like? A white ball come at you. A white doesn't come at you. You're not used to seeing details on it. Trying to see details on it. Some people say, well, I couldn't see it. Just trying to see that detail absorbs you. So when you hear about this thing about being in the zone, you know, peak performance, that's all that is. You're completely absorbed in the details and you're on the task at hand, and that absorbs you to the point that all your 100% of energy is actually focused on what you're doing in this moment. And that's as good as it gets. Okay. Let's just try it. Everybody stand like this. Okay. You can go either side, doesn't matter to me. Shift your weight so you can kind of stand on one foot, so you can balance on the one leg, okay? And what I want you to do for me is, I want you to lift your knee up for me. Good, yeah, lift it up high. Yeah, keep going. Good, so back down for a second. Now, here's what I saw almost everybody in the room do to some degree. Watch my hands up, watch my waist, watch my chest if I start to lift up my knee. See everybody do this. Bending, rotating, okay? Chest up and out. Watch from here. Do you see any movement other than my knee? Okay, so as I'm moving and I'm sprinting, I'm running, everything is coming from below my waist. I'm stabilized on my body. So, everybody balance on that same leg. Chest up and out, you don't move. This part freezes. You put your hands here if you want to feel your waist move. Put your hands here. Now, just go onto your toe. Go onto your toe just to start. Hold it, then start to lift a little bit. Don't sit down, lift up. You're really going to feel your hip flexor work. Back down. Okay? Now, if you lift your toe up, you'll have even more control over your leg. So if you point your foot's all over the place, bring your toe up, it gives you more control over your leg. Yeah, that's nice. Good. Let's see if we do it one time. Ready? Let me say, balance, up, perfect. Good. Much better than when we first started. These are just small examples that we have such a short time to kind of go over these things, but if you start to apply this to what you're doing on a daily basis, you're going to see great improvement. If I was working with a pitcher, sometimes the pitcher's throwing, and let's say the spot they wanted was, here, and they actually threw a ball here. Now, from a pitcher's not bad. That's not bad. That's only about maybe 2 inches apart. But the point was that pitcher wanted this spot. They didn't want this spot. And here's the thing. Can you feel the difference between the two? I was working with a woman on the LPGA tour, and I've been working with her for a while. It was before a tournament. She was warming up. Philo was the sponsor. There was a board out 100 yards out. She was going to start warming up. pulled out her club, and I said, what's your target? She said, the F in field. I said, okay. So she takes her first hit, ball lands maybe 10 feet to the right of the sign. Now on the tour, I can tell you right now, every other golfer will be completely happy with that shot. It's close enough. I mean, it's 10 yards, 100 yards before, it's only 10 yards, 10 feet to the right of the sign. That's a nice shot, right? But I said to her when she knew it was coming, is that what you wanted? She said, no, I wanted the F. I said, you didn't feel the difference. She said, I think so. She hits the next one over the A, and finally she hits 2 over the F, and she finally hits the board and hits the F. Now, 2 things amaze me about that. One is that she could do it. I mean, that she had that kind of skill. But here's the more important thing. She would have never tried it. She would have accepted the 10 feet to the right of the sign, thinking soccer. Are you thinking about hitting a dime, or are you thinking about hitting kind of a gross corner, you know, someplace? The size of the ball. I mean, think of the cross. I work with them. I guess cross plays. I guess soccer. What do you know? How many balls do they cross the goal line? Who's soccer? How many balls do they cross the goal line? You're basketball, right? No. Lacrosse. Okay, lacrosse. Okay. Let me ask you that. I'm putting you on the spot. You're not going to deflect this. How many balls do they cross the goal line? If you took the lacrosse ball and lined the ball up, how many fit across the whole entire goal? Now, how long have you been playing? Yeah, you've been playing a long time, right? Looking at that goal all this time. You don't know how many balls fit in there. Now, why would I ask you that question? Because imagine if I lined up all the balls that fit across the mouth, right? And I numbered them. On the men's goal, I think it's 740 balls. That's hard to believe, isn't it, that many? 740 fit all that whole thing. I know you got a goalie there, so take a few of them away, right? But imagine numbering those and say, hit number 22. Hit number 33. Now you're thinking, oh, that's it. No, it's not. I've worked with people that had that kind of precision, but here's my point. If you're not even thinking that way, how would you ever do it? You're just looking for holes. You're saying, well, there's 5 holes there. I'm going to just look for the hole, you know? That hole is made up of like 20 balls in there, you know? I mean, that's a big target to get in. Where are you trying to put it? And you believe it or not, I have the skill to put it there, but you're not concentrating on that on a daily basis, saying pitching or anything else. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. These pieces of tape on the wall, you're going to get in 2s for this drill. Okay, so it's going to last too long. On the wall are these pieces of tape, along the mats, wherever you find one, right? 2 of you. You'll see if there's a point coming down here. So here's the game. One of you will be in, and one will rotate it. The person in here is kind of like the coach. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to stand in front of that. You're going to stare at the corner of the tape. Like it comes to a little peak. That's your point, okay? You're going to look at that, and then you're going to close your eyes and you're going to reach out and touch it. Okay? Now, you're not going to feel around. You're not going to go slow and hope you hit it. Okay? You're going to look. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to reach out and touch. If you don't touch it before, and I'm emphasizing the underlining, the coach person, okay? Make sure. Before you open your eyes, you have to say where you are. I'm left, I'm right, I'm short, I'm above, I'm 2 inches to the right, whatever. You've got to say where you are before you open your eyes. Okay? Go. 2 little pieces of tape. Turn the tape. Yeah.
Short, they're recording. How long do we analyze it for? How long do you analyze? I'm practicing. Go. Are we going? Hello. You might want to scoot closer. I don't know. Below it? Yeah. Oh, that's so close. Oh! Sorry. Get out the way. You're so close. Right. You're way off. Oh. You're getting worse.
Touching the points. Whenever I work with golf or anybody else, they think, yeah, it goes in the ball, right? No. The goal is to know where you are. and you're right. Victory. That is outstanding. It means you know kinesthetically where you are in space. That's the goal, knowing where you are. Go ahead. Keep going next. Let me just say that most of you had this first experience. The first time you reached out, if you didn't touch it, weren't you kind of amazed that you didn't touch it? Like, aren't you convinced when you reach out, I'm going to touch that? You're going to get that. Okay? You're convinced you're going to touch it. So all it shows you is if you didn't, that you just got to like recalibrate a little bit. There's a feeling between your brain and your body moving that you thought was going to put it on a certain spot that didn't. Another good drill with your eyes closed, the reason I bring this up, is when you're doing a skill, when you close your eyes, all of your attention has to go to feeling what you're actually doing. The way we function as human beings, 70% of our attention is on sight. It's on seeing things. So when we're seeing it, a lot of times we're not feeling what's happening. We sometimes don't notice other things that are going on around us. Sometimes we don't even feel what we did because we're looking, we're seeing. That's kind of overwhelming us with kind of information. So sometimes when you're in practice or you're drilling, be careful what you do this with, especially with some crossballs flying around. But you know, with your eyes closed, work on feeling what you're doing. You may be surprised at the skill level that you're able to attain. Okay, volunteer. Okay, through here. Okay. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to do this yourself in a moment, right? So pay attention to this. You're going to work in teams of three. Okay? And here's the roles. One person is going to be the one observing and actually watching what's happening. That is a skill that probably all of you are probably least, let's say, versed in or practiced in. Actually seeing what happened. Just think about that. When you're going to help somebody change, if I didn't see precisely what you did, how can I help you change? I'd be just telling you from the book too. I have no idea what you did, but I'm going to tell you here's how it's supposed to look. I need to be able to see what you did in order to give you good feedback. So that means the person who's observing has to really try to look at what happened. What did that person do? Okay? The other person is going to be kind of the coach, the one actually doing the drill, and the one's going to be the athlete. Okay? Now, what I want to show you about this is you're going to learn a lot from a silly little, what looks like a little ball drill. Some of you may say, well, I don't use a ball like that. You know, what's it going to do? Here's where we go. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to toss you this ball, okay, and I'm going to call the hand you got to catch it with. Left or right, okay? So, are you ready? Are you really ready? Left. Okay. Now, by the way, everybody has ever done that in the whole world. That's exactly what happened, okay? Because you thought you're ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Well, first of all, you can't move from this position, okay? Unless you're already down, how are you going to move out of this position, right? So, actually, you're not ready. And I know, yeah, this is like, well, look, it's contrived. We're in the middle of the gym at night, you know, doing a rubber ball drill, you know, it's hard to kind of get up for this, okay? But you know what? If you're a performer, you're a performer. If you know how to use your body, okay, this is it. Do it with the ball drill. You can do this with anything. You can do it with the ball drill, you can do it with anything. Okay, so here we go. Start watching, okay? Left. Okay. Left. Here. Now, give me some feedback. Help them. What did you say? What? Anybody? Pull up your sleeve. That's advice. Okay. Okay, let me ask you something. He caught the ball, right? Tell me what you said.
Okay, so first one I caught you close.
Okay.
Second one was better because
I agree. Now, did he move, do you think, as fast as he's capable? So in other words, did he take the ball like that, or did he kind of go like that? Right. Okay, so start watching the ball. Left. Good. Now, already, is that amazing? He didn't do any training. He didn't go out and study for 5 years. Just one little input was, you can move faster than that. Suddenly, now he's catching the ball like that. Okay? That just started because he had that awareness to go do that. So here we go. Start watching. Out of my hand. Left. Yes. Now, I don't know if you can see his eyes. Some of you can't. Maybe you could. If you notice, that time he was really focused on the ball. He literally saw it out of my hand. The one before that, even though you were quick, you didn't see that ball until it was like this far out of my hand. Then you started seeing it. Okay? Now, I'm telling him a lot of things because I'm telling all of you so you get the idea how to do this. Normally, if I was just working with you alone, I would ask him first. So the observer, whoever's going to be in the observer role, you don't tell somebody what they did wrong. You ask them what they did. Because it goes back to this drill. Do you know what you did? If you don't know what you did, you can't change. So the first thing is learning to feel exactly what happens. So start watching again. Right. Okay. You tell me. Okay. Good answer. Now, has that ever happened to any of you? He just said, I don't know. But think about it. Have you ever, like, somebody asked you what happened, you're like, it's like a blackout. I don't know. It just happened, but I don't know what happened. Okay? Let me show you what happened. Go to put out your right hand for me. Okay? Right now, can you see the ball? Okay. So you had actually blocked the ball from your own vision. So now all you have is feel. So you're going, by the time it hits your hand and bounces off, you try to close your hand and it bounces out. Because you didn't see the ball. So actually, go back up here. This is where the ball was. This is where your hand's going to have to be. What do you got to do with your eyes? Move. Move. Yes. Yeah, I know it sounds like an obvious thing, right? But you move your eyes so you can see the ball all the way into your hands. So start watching. Here we go. Right. Nice. Right. Yeah. And again, natural reaction of everybody when you do that is, oh, geez, I didn't get it. I didn't get it right. Okay? So your first reaction is that you're worried about being wrong. What does that do then? Nothing. So what does it do? And I'm giving you this example. I was working with a wide receiver in the NFL. I worked with a lot of them. The guy's running out. He's running routes. He runs out about 10 yards, and he drops the ball. And he says the F-bomb as loud as he can. We're just together. So nobody else in the place, okay? And I looked at him and I said, what did you say? And then he was kind of sheepish. He goes, well, I dropped the ball. So I knew you dropped the ball. I said, what did you say? And he goes, oh, I dropped the ball. I said, thank you, Jesus, right? Looks like I hit him over the head with a 2x4, right? He goes, well, why am I thanking Jesus? I dropped the ball. I said, well, aren't you thankful in all things? He said, yeah. I said, so thank you, Jesus. Now, you might say, what, you're just some holy guy, like you just want to do that, like, to kind of do good things? Two reasons to do it. First one is gratitude. It's the right thing to do. Be thankful in all things. That is the right thing to do. Here is the practical thing about it. When you get mad and start cursing and beating yourself up for something, do you know why you dropped the ball? Does he know why you dropped the ball? He's busy beating up the ground and hitting the ground and ticked off and being mad. What does he know? The ball. And why is he acting mad? Pride. Because I've got to show all of you my how upset I am, how good I am. Because I don't drop balls. So I got to be really upset about this, so you'll see that it just doesn't happen to me. I am so much better than that. That's why I'm upset. But it has nothing to do with seeing or knowing what actually happened. Because an NFL wide receiver, can they catch? Yeah. Can he catch? Absolutely. If he drops the ball, it's not because he can't catch. He's already proved to us he can catch. He actually proved he can catch really fast. So if he doesn't catch a ball, it's not because he can't. But all of us are kind of emotionally, we're worried, self-conscious, and we get caught up in what will other people think about us. Who cares what other people think about you? It's only about you and ultimately what you're going to go back to God with and say, hey, buddy, here's all my skills, talents, and abilities. It doesn't matter whether they clap you on the back. So, back to the thing. Just focus. Left. Nice. I'm going to do this with you, because you're good. Here we go. Okay? Left, right. Nice. It's okay? Okay. Left, right. Nice. Okay. He's good. Okay, give him a hand. Now, here's what you do. You're going to to go in groups of 3. So get your 3s. I'll give each group a ball to start with. Balls, here they come, here they come. Just one for now, just one for now. Person catching, stay on the X. The person throwing, here, you come on this side. Whoever's throwing, come on this side to this X. Whoever's throwing this side, that's what I shoot. This little mark here, stay on that little mark, that's the right distance. Okay, wait, one more time. I know you want to go, so let me just think of this. We're not trying to trick the person. You're not trying to make them look bad, okay? What you want to do is start off and make sure they get it, and then gradually increase it based on their ability, okay? Ready, go. Right. it's one more drill, okay? Here's the next drill. Can you just hold that for me? Okay. Who wants to volunteer? JJ. Okay, everybody watch. This is what you're going to do. New drill. It's a reaction time drill. Okay? So, you're going to put your hands above mine. Okay? I'm going to drop one of these balls. Whichever one I drop, you have to catch. Okay? Now, you already have the right idea. You can't look. I got two balls. You don't know which one's going to go. You've got to look in the middle. You can't go like this. Okay? Look in the middle, and what you're going to look for is movement. So what I want you to do is I'm not going to drop this first one. When I move one of these balls, I want you to flash your eyes over the ball.
Wait, dude.
If I look in the middle. Okay. Hands up. If I move a ball, you flash your eyes to it. Okay. Perfect. Now.
All right, I guess my eyes, not my head.
No, your head can go too. Whatever you. Okay. Yes. Good. You got it. Okay. So now. No. You're above. You're above. Okay. I'm going to drop one. As soon as I drop it, you flash your eyes to it and then catch it.
Oh my
now,
God.
I'm going to have you pump the ball. I just want to show you how long you have. It's like unbelievable how long this is, okay? So the ball's here, right? When you let that go, you have so much time for that ball to get there, and it's like, yeah, forever, okay? So there's no rush. So you're going right down after the ball. Okay. Yeah, you're looking in the middle. You got to look for motion.
Sorry.
Now, you feel yourself wanting to go underneath and catch it?
I did.
Okay. You hold the ball. Put it up here. What I want you to do, I want you to drop it and go right after it. Now, let it go a little further. Let it go a little further, all the way to the floor. Yeah! Okay. And that's what you got to do. You're willing to go to the floor. Okay? Closer. Closer. Here we go. Okay. Keep on. Here we go. Same group of three.
We already have one. Wait, we need two balls now.
Put your hands up just a little higher. Good. Just move one of them when you're ready. You flash your eyes to it. Yeah, you're faster. Yes.
I have more. You're underneath though. I'll go in front of it. Yeah, all right. Oh my God, let's see if I get it. Not like catching it, but I'm back now. Yeah.
Give yourself a chance to see it before you throw it.
No, you're not.
Nice.
It's that right side.
All the way to the floor.
That's impressive.
He's a beast.
Good note. You're going to end on a good note.
When I move the ball, now you're turning your head. I want you to see the ball. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now if I drop it, what you do
Oh, you're close. There you go. See there? Just kidding. Oh, I thought.
This one, okay? We have one ball. Okay. Matter of fact, I know it's tape. I'm sticking to it too. Okay. Stand there. This isn't the greatest score for bouncing the ball, but we'll try, okay? What you're going to do now is you're going to catch this ball with 2 fingers. Okay? So, just like that. Okay? Now, we're going to bounce it. So watch. Okay? So the game, you're going to end up playing sort of horse, you'll play BAC. Okay? So you can bounce it, and you got to catch it 2 fingers. Bounce it. You get it? That's the game. I know, you got to pay attention the whole way in. And by the way, you catch it with your hands open, not your hands closed. Hands open. And one more thing, you're not pitching in.
Slowly.
It's like flat. Great job. Hopefully you got something to take away with you, just some little things about how you're going to apply this. You got to start now thinking about your own sports. How can you apply some of these things to what you're doing, okay? And we can talk again.
Really?
Right, guys, review extension for a little bit here. I know you guys just got back from Dr. Thurfelder's talk, or a little active talk. It was pretty awesome, right? I'm not sure if he introduced himself or if Claire introduced him, but he actually jumped in the Olympics for Ireland. So, high jump, which is, I don't know if I mean, he was in the Olympics, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. And then also, who you're listening to right now is Dr. Fuzel, who played Division I baseball and coached Division I, a stud in and of himself, you know. So, and so he's going to talk to you about analyzing sport and defining sport, and what it means and how you can live it out each day. So, Dr. Fuzel.
Hang with me for maybe 30 minutes or so, because I know it's getting hot in here. We were having some heat issues, but what I'm after here, okay? Let me give you some background, at least in terms of how this all evolved, right? So, when I first came here about 4 years ago, Dr. Thierfeld and I, we had a lot of conversations, and we still continue to have those conversations. You know, he would talk a lot about sport and virtue, right? And so one of the questions that I often have from him, like, what do you mean, okay? What do you mean, sport and virtue? It's like, you know, being like virtuous in sport. You not helping me here, okay? Give me a little bit more than that. Now look, in some ways I'm kind of exaggerating, but there was this idea, okay, that when he would talk about sport and virtue, and when we had these banners like excellence and virtue on campus, that if then we would ask a student, like, what does that mean? They'd kind of look at you and go, I don't know, shaking somebody's hand at the end of the game or something? I'm not really sure what you're talking about here, okay? And so part of what we began to talk about is how do we begin to think about that big lofty topic, right, on this campus? Because at some level, like all of you, like if I asked you, let me ask you, okay? Give me an example of the worst, give me an example of the worst behavior you've ever seen on a court, a field, anything like that.
Spitting in somebody's face.
Spitting in somebody's face. Did you do that?
Uh-uh.
Okay, good. Okay? Give me another example, right? Yes, sir. Elbows, like we're talking about flagrant elbows, right? It's one of these, I got the rebound, and I got this one and this one, right? Okay. Others. Like Beyblades, right? Okay, yeah.
I've seen someone throw someone else's equipment.
Dude, say that again?
I said I've seen someone throw someone else's equipment. The
So
opposing team.
Really? So just take the equipment and just toss the
Yeah,
thing.
it was
Okay?
lacrosse, and their sticks got tangled. They fell on the ground. Their kid picks up ours and gives it to him. He's like, okay, cool. He grabs his and throws it over the fence and into the track.
Okay. Okay. Like, okay, so you got examples, right? That's a good example. I'm going to use that one at some point, okay? You got good examples, right? You know it when you see it. And would anybody in here go, yeah, that's cool, right? I want to do that. Okay? Look, this is one of those obvious ones where it's like, okay, I know bad behavior when I see it. I know that I'm not supposed to do it. I know that it's not great. Boy, I wish we could change it, but I don't know how, so we'll just kind of put up with it. And in some ways, maybe we'll celebrate it. In some ways, we'll glorify it. You know, we'll figure out what we're doing with it, right? Okay. What we're trying to do here is say no. We got a chance here, I think, to really talk about sport in a different way. And we can do it on this campus. And the hope is that many of you are going to be coaches. Many of you might be teachers. Many of you might be involved in youth sport. Many of you might grow up to be CEOs, ADs, general managers, whatever the case is. And only you got a chance to change this thing, right? Because sport is near and dear to my heart. Okay, my quick background, and then I'll tell you about the worst behavior that I've ever seen. Okay, my background was I was a Division I baseball player. I played at a pretty high level, but scouts in professional baseball do not like their catchers like 5'9". I'm like 5'10" when my hair's grown out, okay? But 5'9" and maybe I'm 215 on a bad day, that's a little pudgy, right? They like their catchers about 6'3" and long and lean, and I'm sort of short and stocky and square. So I can play at a pretty high level, but I wasn't going to play at a really high level, right? And I saw what that actually meant. But sport was so dear to me that I figured out I could make a career out of this thing. So in 1992, I got involved in higher education and sport. I've been a college baseball coach. I've been a college athletic director. I've been an administrator at the Division I level. And an athletic director at 3 different places. I've been a compliance coordinator. Sort of seen the wars, right? Kind of have done this. And I've seen sport from so many different levels. I've had coaches look at me and say, I don't care if that person graduates, I just need to win a game so I don't get fired on Saturday. Okay? I've had those kinds of experience there. Now maybe part of what I'm trying to do is sort of give the cred, right? And I've seen some of this stuff, and I want sport to be different because it's dear to me. 20 years worth of being around this and working in it, playing it for a lot of years, this means a lot to me, right? And I think you're here tonight because it means a lot to you. Okay, here's the worst behavior that I ever saw, right? And part of this, why I do this, is because I'm not trying to be preachy. Like, some of the things are really important to me, but I'm not trying to be preachy in this way. This is not somebody sort of standing up on high and going, hey, you got to do this or this. Doing it, I hope, in a different way. Okay? Who's this? Who's that, kids? No, come on, you're kidding.
That's you.
That's me.
Oh, wait, let me see.
See, Mackenzie's in my first year seminar class, so we know each other, okay? That's actually me.
I thought it was going to be some famous
No,
person.
please. Okay, that's actually me. Now, I actually keep this in my office for a lot of different reasons, okay? Remind myself not to take myself so seriously. Remind myself about what's important in sport. Remind myself not to embarrass myself, right? This was the worst behavior I have ever seen. You know what this is? This is me. You're right, Conrad. This is me, okay, after I've been thrown out of not just one game, but 2 games. I've been thrown out of an entire doubleheader, right? Okay, we're playing a team. Ultimately, they will win a national championship. We had never beaten them before. This is my team. I'm the head coach, right? Tight ball game, into the bottom of the 7th or 8th or 9th. It's sort of towards the end of the ball game. We got guys at first and third, 2 outs. Guy up at bat, momentum's really starting to shift. He's got 2 strikes on him. He goes, check swings on a ball, right? Softballers, you'll understand this, right? Check swing, clearly does not swing through. I'll go to my grave saying this thing, never swung through it, okay? Check swing, umpire behind the plate doesn't know what to do, so he looks down at the first base umpire and goes, did he go through it? Goes, yes, 3rd strike. I am livid, okay? Absolutely as pissed as I have ever been. Right? I come running across, I go past the mound, I look at the umpire and I'm like, I'm going to be thrown out. I go to my first base coach and I say, I'm getting thrown out. I'm running down the line to chase after the first base umpire, and really not an exaggeration, okay? I'm like, you bleep, 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 you get your bleep, 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 back, bleep over, bleep, okay? I'm just bleeping about as fast as I possibly can, and I can bleep with the best of them at times. I try not to anymore, okay? But I'm all over the place, right? And now I'm right here. It's one of these face-to-face. And you said you spit in somebody's face? Oh, it was all over this guy, okay? We're right face-to-face, and I'm calling him every name. And he says, you want to get thrown out? I say, yeah, I want to get thrown out. He goes, great, you're gone. So he throws me out, and I go, you can't do that. You're gutless. He goes, you want to go for the second one? I say, you can't do it. He goes, watch me. I go, do it. He goes, you're gone for the second one, right? We argue some more. I have a few more choice words. I stomp back to the dugout. I get to the dugout. I take the bats and I throw them on the field. I take the balls and I throw them on the field. I have a stool that I sit on and I throw it on the field. Okay, it's one of those Lou Piniella episodes, right? And I think I'm like the coolest guy in the world. I get thrown out. Here's what I do. I get to go sit outside the stadium because I've been thrown outside the stadium and just sit there. A parent of one of my players. Travis, what are you doing? I'm sitting out here for the rest of the day. I have to explain to them what happened. And then my family comes along and my kids come along. Daddy, why are you here? Because I said some things I shouldn't have. Daddy, what'd you say? Let's not repeat that. Okay. This was, it is to sort of, look, I'm saying this from the sense of having been there, about having not acted in the right way, but a turning point for me, I think, okay? Okay. This at least gives you a starting point whether to think about this. Now, I hope what I'm going to do is be able to give you a way by the end of all of this, what the heck are we talking about, sport and virtue? Okay, let me start this way, right? And some of you may have been and, of course, heard some of this, okay? I know some of you, but come at it in this way, okay? What are the characteristics of a sport? Like, is chess a sport?
No.
Why would you say it's a sport? Thinking movements. So, like, if I do this and sing Lady Gaga songs,
Competition.
I'm thinking, right?
Competition.
Competition.
Okay, so we got competition. Okay, I'll buy that one.
Winner or loser.
Okay. Okay, competition. You can do that, right?
Preparation.
What are the characteristics?
Preparation.
What's that?
Preparation.
If I prepare to sing a Lady Gaga song, am I engaging in sport? Gaga on my mind. Okay. What else? In sync.
Focus,
Okay.
strategy,
What else?
focus, strategy, and being a step ahead of your opponent.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the counter example, right? Because there can be other things which might have focus, which might have strategy. I'm going to come up with that one in the top of my head, okay? Too many all at once.
You can fire back for everything, though.
Writing paper. Writing paper. Focus strategy, right? Stay one step ahead of my instructor. What else? I'll go back to chess. Who thinks chess is a sport? Not anymore. Okay. What element seems to be missing from chess?
Teamwork.
Okay, like if I play, like my sons, this one is always so funny. Okay, like my sons like have the dress-up box, right? And they're totally into Star Wars, and so they work as a team, quite literally, like to pull off scenes from Star Wars. I mean, we got Luke Skywalker, we got Anakin, we got Jedi Knights all over the place. Are they doing sport? Probably not. Okay. Physical, right? So maybe sport needs to be physical. So we got physical. We got competition. Okay. What else?
There's plenty of context.
Okay, like when I play, if I play, I don't know, if we just go out and we kick the ball around, right? Are we engaging in sport? It's physical, right? What about rules? Okay. One of the ideas about sport is that it becomes rule bound, right? Okay, you have rules that get created to make artificial barriers. So part of this is you got rules like 60 feet 6 inches, right? How tall is the hoop?
10 feet. 10 feet.
Would the game change significantly if it was 8 feet?
Yes.
Would it change if it was 12 feet?
Yes.
Okay? Think about that with other kinds of sports. We create rules that then stimulate barriers that we try to overcome. The last piece in terms of a sport, and the reason why I'm giving you this is that you begin to want to think about what you're engaging in. You're engaging in a physical, rule-bound, competitive activity. And at some level, the last thing that people talk about, not as germane to our discussion though, is that it becomes commonly accepted, right? So suddenly these two guys, Ryan and JJ, right, okay, they start bouncing on one foot. We're going to see who can go the longest, hold their breath, okay, come up with Backstreet Boys lyrics, okay, see who can do that the best. Are they engaging in a sport? Well, it's physical. I've given them some stupid, silly rules, right? Competitor, who's going to win? But the notion of them, is this an accepted sport? Probably not, because there's really not a league of Backstreet Boys lip-syncing, holding your breath, jump on one foot, right? Okay. You're engaging in sport. Physical, rule-bound competition. Okay, let's dig on this competition piece, right? Okay, competition. The notion here is that it can be either, right, human beings, we know that, right? Competing against somebody else, that's important. Sometimes also then competition, it can also be an intangible. If I go out just for a run, okay, I'm kind of a dumpy 43-year-old, I need to be in better shape, I just go out on a run. Am I engaging in sport? What seems to be missing? Competition, right? Okay, and the rules. Okay, now though, I go out and I say, I'm going to run a 3-mile course. I'm going to try and do this in 18 or less. And I may try to do this in terms of negative splits. Okay? Am I engaging in sport? Probably so. Now the reason I said I've created some rules for myself, right? Barriers for myself, 18 minutes, negative splits, 3 miles, okay? But I'm competing against something. What I may be competing against is my own good, my own self-improvement, my own barriers. I'm competing against trying to be something better, trying to better myself against that mark of 18 minutes, 6-minute miles. So competition in some ways doesn't just have to be about a person. Competition can also be about making ourselves better, trying to overcome those barriers, and that becomes important here in a second. Okay, why important? 2 reasons that we engage in sport. One is we engage just because we want to play. Okay, theorists talk about we want to just play. Human beings have an innate desire to play, right? Think about that. When you're kids, when you're just growing up, you just want to play. I still love to play. 43-year-old Dumpy Travis, man, I love to play games. I play pickup hoops, I play squash. Okay, I'll play just about anything. because I love it. And I think there's something inherent in us doing that. But competition, okay? We love also to engage in competition. But we do it, I think, for this reason. We engage in competition because we're looking to improve ourselves. We engage in sport because we want to be something better. We want to compete against somebody else, and because of that, make improvements, right? Let me come back to this in a second. Pick your sport, pick your poison, right? I see basketball players here. If you were going to play my 13-year-old daughter's basketball team, do you think you would win or lose? I hope you would win, okay? We gotta talk if you wouldn't. She doesn't dribble well, okay? Right, and if you did that, would you take any satisfaction from that? None. Why?
Because they're little kids.
If you beat them, you'd be all high-fiving people, right? Really? A 13-year-old who can't drill.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So are you telling me that you've never played your daughters and let them go for a shot? You're just like, no!
I don't let them beat me. That's parenting. That's not sport. That's different, okay? Parents in the room will understand that, all right? Okay? Would you take any? Okay? Tennis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you ever bageled somebody?
Yeah.
You ever been bageled?
Yeah, we call it the Will Bull.
Okay?
Yeah.
Does that, do we understand what that means? A bagel is 6060. That means that you don't win a game, or the other person doesn't win a game. Is it that enjoyable?
It depends. I got bageled by this guy that's like 400 in the world.
Okay.
And his name is Will Bull, so that's what we call him that. That's what we call it, the Will Bull.
So it could be kind of interesting, at least
It's
to test yourself, right?
exactly.
Okay. What I'm trying to get from this is that we know we've had these instances, right, where we compete against people and we get nothing from it. Because we're trying to make ourselves better. How do we make ourselves better when somebody's not that good, right? Let me go further, okay? You and I decided to play one-on-one, okay? You're doing this, and again, I'm slow as molasses, right? But I can body check with the best of it, right? I got pointy hips. Okay? Alright, we're playing one-on-one, but after a while I just like, whatever, you know, and you take it and you give it this one and give me the head fake and then you're going past me, right? And I don't even try to catch you. Okay? I just sort of stop. And what started as a competitive match ended as something that wasn't. Are you satisfied? Why?
You gave up.
Because I gave up. I didn't try. I promise you there's a method to my madness. I'm trying to take you piece by piece here, okay? The notion here is that we want to play, we compete because we want to get better, because we want to test ourselves. And the way in which we do this, or the best way that we can do this, we can control our own actions, but in competition, we also want to demand the best of others. So what happens here? The firmament of competition then becomes something called, and here's the language, right? You may never remember this in the world, but I just want you to know where it's coming from. It's called the Mutual Pursuit of Excellence, MPE. It's a way to orient yourselves when you play sport. Okay? This becomes important because you want to give your best. If what we're after is to get better, and the way we do that is to give our best effort, right? And we should give it, and we should expect it. Because if we don't, we aren't getting better. It's a worthless experience. So part of this is saying, how do you begin to orient yourself? Do it by trying to pursue excellence together with your opponent. Okay, some basic rules. What does that mean? That means don't cheat, right? That means don't slack off. That means something about respect. Let me move to that part, okay? Remember I started this by saying, look, we began to think about what does this mean by sport and virtue, right? And if I looked and you go, what does that mean? You kind of look at me and go, I don't know, right? Okay? Another way to come at this, virtue. What's virtue? Yeah, that's usually what I get, sort of the silent answer, right? I was like, oh, virtue, that's cool. What is it? Very simple way to think about this is, virtue is the habit of doing good. doing good. Now we can name certain virtues. Sometimes people talk about virtues of benevolence, justice, honesty, humility, responsibility. Okay? These become virtues because they are the ways in which we can habituate ourselves to doing good things for others, right? We are honest for people. We are benevolent. We are responsible. And really this is about for others. But again, what if I go, yo, 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 way to be benevolent? That doesn't get a lot of mileage, right? Like if your coach says, nice justice, right? Same. Doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't mean anything. Okay, so where you got to come at this? Let me give you a different way to come at this. Very simple way to activate or think about virtue, and then I can even not even have to use this word virtue anymore. Okay, very simple word. Respect. The notion here is about respect. You can be virtuous, last time I used that word, by being respectful. I'll tell you how this works, okay? 5 categories. Start this way. We want to respect the game. Okay? Anybody a Bull Durham fan? See, I was she's in my first year seminar. We're always doing bad cultural references, and it makes a lot of sense, okay? Okay, one of the great lines in Bull Durham, this is one of my favorite movies, it's about baseball, where he says, okay, you don't respect yourself, that's your problem, but you don't respect the game, and that's my problem. Each sport that you play has certain traditions. It has certain ways of playing that sport. What's hooking in tennis? Do you still use that term?
Never heard it.
Oh, you're killing me.
Does that
okay?
have to do
It's
with
like
your
that.
swing?
No. We used to call it hooking, like if you're calling a match together, right? And basically the ball's in and you go, it's out. Okay? Call it hooking a point. The notion here is that you have to be honest when you play a game. Call balls in, call balls out. The tradition is give people the benefit of the doubt, right? In baseball, one of the traditions, I'm looking at some of the softballers there, right? Don't run up the score. Okay? Don't steal bases when you're way ahead. You don't go in spikes high when you're trying to slide. You don't try to hurt somebody. Each sport would have some kinds of similar traditions about what you do. And the way in which you respect the game is you honor those traditions. In soccer, somebody gets hurt, what do? You kick the ball out of bounds and turn the ball back over. Right? There are certain traditions that you have. So the way in which you do this, honor the traditions. First form of respect. Honor your opponents. You honor opponents clearly by not cheating. The other one that just burns me up is trash talking. Okay? Here's where I'll maybe be up on my high horse for just a moment. I don't understand this. I never have understood this. 2 forms of this, right? Okay, first, why would we ever think that this is appropriate in any place? It is dehumanizing. Why would I want to talk about your mother, your brother, your sister, your father, your background, okay, your mama, everything else under the sun? Why would I think that that's appropriate? It's not, right? The other one is like this, okay? Why would I want to distract you in a certain kind of way? If what I'm trying to do is get your best effort, I want your best effort as you, not me trying to distract you. Okay? I don't do this during a test, right? JJ's taking a test, okay? I don't get in his ear and go, you suck. You can't spell. Okay? You can't write. Okay? We don't do those things. I want his best effort on the test. I want everything that he can give. We want the same thing in sport. That's really important, I think. Okay? Respect the traditions of the game. Respect opponents. Respect your teammates. In no way am I saying that you have to like them. Probably don't like them. Heck, I don't even like y'all, okay? No, I do. Okay? You've got to respect your teammates. Without them, they don't make the game happen. You can't play a game. Okay? It doesn't happen. Right? So we want to respect them as human beings. We want to respect their talents, their abilities. Okay? This is why we don't want to demean them. We want to encourage them. We want to talk to them. We want to help them be better people. Fourth one, respect your coaches. Okay? I know that there are struggles with this sometimes, right? Hey, coaches, they have problems. Players have problems. Professors have problems. We got real lives. We got bad days. We got bad habits. But we want to respect those people because they help to bind what we're doing, the kinds of things that we do. Okay? Somebody's got to get there. They've got to break the field, make out the lineup, do the things to make the game happen. So we need to respect coaches. Okay? The last one, for me, sometimes this becomes the most important because it's the most visible. Respect officials. In no way am I suggesting that you have to put up with incompetence, right? When I say respect officials, I'm not talking about, okay, just sitting down and you take whatever happens. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how we would approach them as human beings. I'm talking about the way in which we would talk to officials. I'm talking about it is never appropriate to go face to face and spit in their face. Okay? But it seems to me quite appropriate to say, wait, could you explain to me why that happened? Could you explain to me what it is that you did that? I respectfully disagree, but you didn't get anything right. Walk away. Okay? Officials make the game happen. We have to have those kinds of authorities. Very simple, right? We're after sport to try and make ourselves better, to be better human beings and better people. The way we want to do this is by giving our best effort. No cheating, no slacking, and respecting. I'll use it the last time. If we do those things, we have activated virtue in sport. So now, when Dr. Thierfelder comes up and says, hey, tell me about sport and virtue, you can say, no cheating, no slacking, respect. Do those three things. Frankly, you're engaging in it. Teach those three things, you're going to change a team. Preach those things, you're going to change a sport culture. Okay? That's how this thing is going to happen. Again, there would be nobody in this room would go, Fizel, you're nuts, right? I'm a little nuts. It's good. It's a good habit to have. Okay? But in terms of sport, this is the kind of stuff that I think you love and you buy into and you understand, and it's essentially who you are. Last thing I'm going to leave you with, okay? If you take anything from today, take those things. No cheating, no slacking, respect. Okay, that's one piece. Next thing to take is the silver rule. Okay? What's the golden rule? What's the golden rule? Okay, simple, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Very simple rule. People always remember this. Lots of cultures, lots of creeds. Absolutely, okay, spreads across the globe. What's the silver rule? No one knows that. Listen to your mom and dad. Okay? Close. Silver rule is do not do unto others as you would have them not do to you. When you put in a negative, it makes it a very powerful statement, particularly as it relates to sport. The idea here is really that you're saying, look, I want somebody to give me their best effort. If I want their best effort, I shouldn't slack. If I don't want them to cheat me, then I should never cheat them. If I don't want them to talk about my mama, my papa, my brother, okay, I shouldn't do the same thing back. I want to be treated like a great person and a human being. I should give that right back. Okay? Silver rule will absolutely guide what you're doing here. All right, in the end, really, I don't want to be preachy, okay? I'm trying to get you to think about sport in a different way. I'm trying to think about sport and virtue on this campus and what we mean by that. It gives you some idea of what we're trying to accomplish. In whatever, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, I've given you a brief brush, right? Okay? There's a lot more to this. I'd invite you to come talk to me. I'd invite you to take some of my classes. I'll be at your games. Okay? This stuff's important to me. I hope it's important to you. All right? Any questions? I know, I shut them up when I do. Right? Tim? Anything for the good of the cause?
I think, who liked that, by the way? That was the first, when I first heard Dr. Fizell talk about this, that was the first time I'd ever heard about sport in that manner. Like I'd never heard of sport like that before, because we're all also used to like hearing sport through the media today and how ramped up it is to be such like a money-making business. Like at the NFL, like and the NBA and MLB, you're so like they're more business. Like professional athletes today, a lot of them do it like as their profession. Like even though they're professional athletes, yeah, it makes sense, but they do it to like make money a lot of times. They don't really do it